Everybody knows I love Dynasty Warriors, but I'll be the first to admit that there's way too many of them. I used to devour every new Warriors game that came out, every expansion, every spin-off. But these days I'm completely burnt out on the million Warriors games on the market. I still get excited when a new mainstay entry occurs. Dynasty Warriors 9 has my fullest attention, but unless you're an explicit numbered sequel or to a lesser extent one of the Extreme Legends expansions, I'm probably going to wait. This has not been helped by the fact that Tecmo Koei has been cutting more and more corners as the series has gone on. For several years now, unless it is a main numbered Dynasty Warriors entry, Tecmo Koei only does half a localization job, translating the text but not stumping up the green required for English voice actors. This of course makes it impossible to tell what's going on during a battle, especially when story is unfolding, because text is going on in the corner while you're trying to play the game. All this with hundreds of enemies on the screen, flashy dazzling effects blasting you in the eyes, and more HUD than Huddersfield. Then of course there's the asset recycling, character models, attacks, effects, entire maps. So many spin-offs, so many expansions, so much recycled content. Every new Dynasty Warriors that comes out is essentially used to seed several other games. With all that in mind, Warriors All-Stars is another one. It's another one. To its credit, Warriors All-Stars does have a fair whack of fresh content inside it. The conceit is that, like Warriors Orochi, characters from Tecmo Koei's flagship series have all joined together for button-mashing, hack-and-slashing action, which means we get to see the likes of Lubu and Xiao Yun fight alongside Yukimura Sanada, Ryu Hayabusa, and this time around, William from Nioh.
I never imagined I'd be a Dynasty Warrior.
Warriors All-Stars greatly expands the intellectual property that Omega Force can draw from. As a result, there are far fewer characters returning from Samurai Warriors and Dynasty Warriors, but a lot more fresh characters from games you might not necessarily expect. Joining William are several characters from the Toikiden series, Toikiden, as well as Apuna, Knights of Azure, and Deception, to name but a few. There are many fresh characters to play with this time around, which lends Warriors All-Stars a freshness that other expansions and spin-offs have failed to achieve. While the simple light attack, strong attack combo system from the Warriors games provides the foundation for battle, each character nevertheless feels distinct and relatively true to their original core game. Rio, from Rio, is particularly enjoyable, summoning fruit machines, poker chips and roulette wheels to damage her foes. Foes which in this one are anthropomorphic foxes, or cats, sometimes dogs. Yeah, there is some sort of story to Warriors All-Stars, and it manages to be mind-numbingly simple and needlessly complex at the same time. On the surface, it's a simple save-the-world plot where the different universes that these game characters come from have collided, and the heroes of said worlds have to save this new world, which is being destroyed by some generic evil that was sealed away in the long, long ago. There's also some family feud going on between 3 of the cat-fox dogs, but anything more intricate than that I completely lost because of the amount of storyline that's divulged during battle in text that I'm not reading because I'm playing the game. This is another fault of the Lackadaisical Localization, because it's not just text. Speech is accompanying it, but I have to rely on the letters because unfortunately I never learned Japanese in order to play my video games. In battle, you control a single warrior, although you can build a party of up to 5. Your backup party members will fight alongside you in battle, as well as provide support abilities. These abilities usually come in the form of attacks, but can grant passive bonuses to the player as well. Alternatively, you can choose not to use the support ability and instead gain temporary control of that party member. Your original hero will attack in tandem and move at the same time as the one you're currently controlling, and you can do this with every party member in a row, each one joining next to the other one to form a chain of 5 characters moving and attacking at the same time and covering a wide area. Omega Force has added some very light role-playing elements to the mix as well. The more characters fight alongside each other, the more their regard for each other grows, unlocking new passive skills along the way. The world map is full of optional battles that can strengthen various elements of the character, from leveling them up to gaining more gold, to acquiring materials used for hero cards. Hero cards themselves being equipable items of varying degrees of rarity, granting their corresponding character an attack boost and some other buffs. Cards can be sold, enhanced, even combined to create new ones. And you're going to want to find something to do with them, because sooner or later you will be drowning in these hero cards. Warriors All-Stars boasts a base degree of fun, aided along by the amount of fresh characters to be discovered. Whether you're interested in these characters, of course, comes down to whether or not you're interested in the original game they come from. And if you're a big fan of Dynasty Warriors or Samurai Warriors, you might be somewhat disappointed by the fact that they take a tremendous back seat compared to the others. Even if you do find the characters you like though, battles do quickly become a slog. Omega Force's recent trend of designing maps as intricate corridors rather than expansive battlefields leads to far too many instances of characters running around with nothing to do, traipsing through winding, empty pathways to get to the combat. This has been a problem in Omega Force's games for a while now, but in Warriors All-Stars it seems to really reach its head, possibly due to the fact that many maps in this game are at least several years old already. I'm overtly familiar with some of these environments, and I am, quite frankly, tired of them. Battles themselves are more formulaic than usual as well, as you move from base to base, capturing them before finally beating the last commander. While this is the fundamental progress of an average Dynasty Warriors title, here it's more obvious than before, because other forms of mission variety just aren't there, and so many battles are against generic foxes or monsters that there's nothing outstanding about the vast majority of stages. Some stages do try their hand at additional gimmickry, such as fights to see how many heroes you can slay within a time limit, or battles where you die with a single hit, but even they quickly grow repetitive. Warriors All-Stars is a fine idea. I love the concept of all of these game characters clashing together with classic Dynasty Warriors combat, but the embarrassingly contrived reason for the crossover, not to mention the thoughtless level design, lend themselves to the sense that Tecmo Koei has just cashed in a golden ticket for nothing. They had all these characters under one roof, the potential for a hack-and-slash Smash Brothers of their own design, and wasted it. Squandered it on a quickly produced cheap spin-off just so they can knock something out before Dynasty Warriors 9 arrives. And it should come without surprise that my suggestion is to wait for Dynasty Warriors 9. If you are a big fan of hack-and-slash games, if you like the Warrior series as I do, this one will provide more of the same, but it already feels woefully outdated, which is quite literally true for some of the cast, since there's a whole new game coming out with new versions of them. This should have been a special game, an event of a game. Instead, it's just another one.
5.5. Mediocre!
Oh, and that Muso fever thing where you're invincible and you attack loads of things and your party members are cheering you on. Yeah, that's really, really cool. The first time. Not so much the 500th.